Hey y'all, it's Ron. Today I'm getting ready to go on my fall excursion to Cades Cove in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So unlike my previous trip to Virginia, this time I'm taking my camping trailer. And I'm just finishing up packing up the back of the truck. This is what I got in the back of the truck. I put a lot of my heavy stuff in the truck to keep from hauling it in the trailer, because this is a 16-foot camping trailer that's only got about a, 3,500 pound axle on it, 13-inch tires. I wish it was different, but it's not. But hey, it's mine, okay? I own it outright. Let me show you real quick what the inside looks like. Now that I've got it kind of packed up and ready to go. You've probably seen this before in the videos. So this here's the dining area, and I removed the dining room table out to give me more room, and I have a folding table that I set up in here so I can eat off of. Gives me quite a bit more room. I don't really use the kitchen fully when I'm dry camping like this. I will not use a refrigerator. I take my Bouge RV refrigerator with me. It has a 2-burner cooktop and a microwave. Now I can run the microwave off of my Mega 1 battery pack. So if I want to use the microwave to heat something up or whatever, I could do that. And then let me show you the rest of it here. This is my sleeping area right there. I've just got a bunch of stuff stored on there for the trip over. And it has a full bathroom. Okay, it has a full dry bath, okay, with a toilet and a shower tub. Now I'll tell you what, I've never used it, okay? So yeah, that could be something that wasn't in here. Let me show you another angle here of the dining room. I made them curtains, okay, to go across the front. The blind was broke when I bought the trailer, the pull down blind, so I just made some curtains there to kind of cover up that window. Anyways, what I need to do is get everything put away off this countertop for the trip over. You don't want to leave anything laying out. Put it on the floor or whatever you got to do with it. So that's what I'm fixing to do. Well, good morning. I'm here in Cades Cove in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I arrived yesterday evening. It's on a Wednesday, November the 19th, a week before Thanksgiving. I'm here camping for a week. I come over every time this year, bring my camping trailer over here, and with the hopes of finding the deer in their rut. Anyways, last night when I made my first initial loop around this road, I noticed this tree out in this field where the grass had turned like a golden brown. So I took a photograph with my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and edited it in Snapseed. Here's that photograph right now. But I got up early this morning hoping for fog, atmosphere, and guess what? I have atmosphere. There is the tree right out there. I'm parked alongside the road, and I'm going to attempt to capture a photograph of this tree in this atmosphere. Now I'm using the Nikon Z8 with the Nikon 24-120 f4 S-line lens. And let's see what my exposure is going to be. So I'm going to shoot at f8 because I feel like that's the sharpest aperture for this lens. And I'm at ISO 100, which is not the basement for this, but I prefer to shoot at ISO 100. And my shutter speed, slightly underexposed, about 1/3 of a stop, 1/1.6. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just get the composition that I want, and that's probably going to be my exposure. Okay, I've done a couple horizontal shots, and one of the shots was bracketed. I don't think I need the bracketing, not with this kind of atmosphere. Now what I'm going to do now is turn the camera to do a couple vertical shots, and it's real easy to do because I have an L bracket on mine. Okay, it's a Kirk Enterprise L bracket made just for the Z8. So all I got to do is flip my camera right over on the tripod. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to get my white balance correct in camera. Okay, I don't care much for changing the white balance in Photoshop. So I have an app on my phone. It's called LE Calculator. I think it's that. I think it's LE Calculator. No, I don't think it's it. Let's see. Is it LE Calculator? So I have an app on my phone called Light Meter, and it's telling me that my exposure could be about a 1/2 second and the white balance is about 7,300. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial that in manually in the camera. I'm using my Kelvin setting, and we're going to go ahead and pump that up to 7,300, and that's the white balance I'm choosing. I'm doing a vertical shot, like I said, so I'm going to aim, instead of having the camera dead level, horizontal and vertical, I'm going to aim the camera down just a little bit so I get more of the grass and less of the tree itself. My friends Jack and Lynn just showed up on the loop road. Okay, the sun is coming up. Sunrise is at in about 5 minutes, so my exposure is changing a little bit. I'm now at 1/5 of a second at f8. And this is going to be the shot right here. I'm going to turn my camera down just a little bit. Got disrupted there. I want a little bit more of the grassy area and a little bit less of the sky or above the tree. It's pretty cool. I like this. So if I got anything good, I'll show you that in the video right now. So being able to do this kind of photography, I haven't been able to do foggy atmospheric photography, so this is exciting to me. And that's what it's all about when you're out here doing your hobby or your craft or whatever you want to call it. Hey, I see another composition down here. I'm going to move down the road. There's a fence post or two down there. I'm going to see if I can't make something happen right there. Yeah, let's move on down the road. So this fence post right here, it's pretty cool looking. I don't know if I can put a composition together right here or not. I'm going to try to. I'm going to show you what I'm working with here. I'm not real happy with it, but I am going to show you the photograph that I just took with this fence post, kind of framing up the tree in the background. So yeah, I'm not too sure if this is going to look like anything or not. Now I'm using my leveling feature on the Z8 to make sure I'm trying to get everything in camera as close as I can, just like setting my Kelvin level to compensate for the white balance that I got on my phone. Let's check out white balance one more time and make sure using that light meter. And I'll put a link, well, I can't put a link, but I'll put a, yeah, so the light, yeah, it's about 7,300 Kelvin, so that's what I've got my camera set at. And I'm focusing on the fence post right now. I'm going to do a focus stacking shot right here, and I'm going to mark the front of that with 2 fingers and focus on the fence post. And then we're going to focus on the tree. And then we're going to mark the end of that focus stacking. So anyways, I'm not sure if this fence post image looks good or not to you. You tell me in the comments of the video. Yeah, this fence post and tree photo doesn't really do it for me, okay? I like the tree just on its own, so I'm going to give it up here and move on down the road, see if I can find some other compositions. There's a pretty cool tree right over here. Let me show you. See that one right there? That big old tree right there? That looks pretty cool. I'm going to walk over there and set up and see if I can't get a shot of that with this 24 to 120 lens. Oh God. Shit. You know, it's real easy to overdo this kind of photography, so just kind of want to pick your subject matter carefully and get my tripod leg locked out. And not every composition is a photograph, but you don't know until you try. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying something new today. I'm going to set up for a vertical shot with this tree. Yeah, kind of like that. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So I'm going to have to work a little fast here because the sun is coming up. My exposure has now gone to 1/50th of a second. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to have to work a little bit quicker now because my exposure is changing quickly. I'm at 1/15th of a second. And actually it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of blue sky behind it. I'm still at 7300 Kelvin. I'm not sure if the white balance is changing on me or not. I think it is. So I'm going to drop that down. Actually, I'm going to leave it there because if I drop it down to 5300, it's too blue. Looking at the back of the camera, I can kind of see that. Anyways, let me turn the camera down just a little bit, get a little less sky. And the grass area in front of these trees looks really nice. So, and what I'm going to do now is, this is picture number, what picture number is it? Picture number 9314. I always say that on camera so I know which picture I'm showing you. And I'm going to go ahead and show that to you in the video right now. Okay, let's move on. One of the things you got to expect when you're in a popular location like Cades Cove is if you get out with a camera, okay, people are going to stop and look to see what you're doing because they think you have seen a bear or a deer or something. Just like this morning, I was out doing this, you know, early morning atmospheric fog photography. And even though it is early morning, it's only about 7:30 a.m., there's people starting to come through the loop road, and they were all stopping to see what I was doing, okay? And I don't get bothered by that, but just expect that yourself. And you're going to get a lot of questions. Like last night, I was actually walking, and some lady asked me if I had any stories to tell. And I says, no, ma'am, I don't have any stories to tell. I'm sorry. All right, I found another composition. I stopped alongside the road. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, I found another composition, and I stopped here at this gravel road. And I'm going to do a pano with the Nikon Z8 and the 24-120. The first shot I'm going to show you that I finished was on 70 millimeters. And the second pano I'm going to show you is on 50 millimeters. Let me show you the scene I'm looking at. So across this field over here, excuse the white balance on this camera, across this field over here is, so the scene I want to show you is across this field are a line of trees bathed in the fog with the early morning sunrise behind them. And I believe that's going to make for a nice pano. So the first series of shots I did at 70 millimeters, and I'm going to show you that in the video right now. And then the second shot I did was at 50 millimeters. I prefer to shoot my panos, I prefer to shoot my panos at 50 millimeters. And when you do a pano, make sure you leave enough room above and beyond, just in case you don't have your tripod perfectly level. I do have mine perfectly level, and I'll show you how I do that in just a second. But make sure that you leave enough room at the left and the right side and the top and the bottom to, in case you're not perfectly level, because the stitching software will sometimes distort that just a little bit. With my tripod, what I have is an Acrotech GP ball head. It's pretty old. It's probably about 5 years old. But what I've done, the way this ball head works is I have it reversed. This is normally the base that goes against the tripod, and this is the part where the camera plate goes. You can reverse this head to make it into a pano head, and it does have a system right here for you to pan left and right with the camera and keeping your camera perfectly level. So I can do that on this tripod, and I definitely can do it on my big tripod with the Really Right Stuff BH55 pano ball head that I have. But sometimes I just use this little one right here. The only problem with this right here is getting used to having the ball upside down, okay? A lot of people aren't used to that, and the camera kind of acts a little different, but after you use it for a while like this, it's kind of second nature. It's like muscle memory. Anyways, pretty cool shot right here. Now, something I want to say to y'all. If you're a landscape photographer, and this is what makes you happy, that's cool. If you're a wildlife photographer, oh man, there's a deer crossing the road right up here. Looks like a pretty good sized buck. I don't know if it's coming down the road or not. The previous evening when I was driving around the loop road, I was looking in the forest as I was driving along the road and looking for color. And I did notice probably a maple tree, a small sapling. It had red leaves on it next to a green colored moss log. And I was driving around this morning trying to remember on this 11-mile road. I have an idea of the area I was in, where that was. And I don't have my Garmin GPS with me, so I couldn't mark the location. I guess I could have pulled my phone out. But while I was looking for that, I found something else that kind of caught my eye. So there is a very large tree that is down right here, and there's some leaves hanging off. I'll show you real quick. There's some leaves hanging off of a branch right there. See those yellow leaves? And I decided what I would do is I would get my Nikon Z50 Mark II and the 100 to 400 lens and put on it and do somewhat of a isolation shot. And let me show you what the back of the camera looks like. This is the composition I'm working on, and with that log across the back of that leaf, it really makes that those leaves pop out. And hey, if I got anything good, I'll show you in the video right now, okay? Now what I did on this shot, and I'm just doing this for audio, and what I did on this shot is I actually put the camera on self-timer to take 5 shots of this at the same exposure. And I'm going to try to blend those or stack those and see what happens with those. And if anything good comes out, I'll show you that in the video right now. So I had to get the camera out on the tripod just to keep it as steady as possible. I'm at 1/25th of a second, f5.6 on this lens at ISO 4000. Trying to keep the ISO as low as possible. Cool, huh? So yeah, there is photography in the wintertime. I mean, most of the leaves are gone from the trees, but there are things you can photograph, and I'm finding a lot of that here today. I see some red leaves back over here in the woods. Let's go take a look real quick. I just happened to look over here to the left, and there's some red leaves. This might be what I seen from the road. I don't know if it is or not. See those red leaves right over there? I'm gonna see if I can't zoom in for you. See them right there, right in the middle of the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can do something with that. Having this 100 to 400 lens is pretty cool. Okay, I'm glad I got this lens. Let me show you what I'm looking at on the back of the camera right here. Turn it so you can see it. So this is the Z50 Mark II with the 100 to 400, and the shot I'm trying to compose is right out there in front of me. And it looks to me like it's going to be a better vertical shot than, let me see if it'll focus here, better vertical shot then it would be horizontal. So I've got the camera mounted using the tripod collar, so I'm able to rotate the camera very quickly using that collar on there. And I replaced the foot, the tripod foot, on the 100 to 400 and bought a Leo photo. Most of my long lenses have Leo photo, except for the 180 to 600, which I bought. I think I bought the Kirk ring. You got to buy the whole thing. It was quite expensive. But replacing the tripod feet on these long lenses makes it a lot easier to use on your tripods. I want you to look behind me. What did I tell you? Pulling out a camera. I want you to look behind me. Pulling out a camera, I can stop traffic. Okay, in Cades Cove. I'm just taking a picture of some leaves out here, and I think everybody's wondering what I'm looking at. It's funny. Here comes some more cars. Let's see if they slow down too, okay? Nope, they didn't even bother. Yeah, they're stopping. Okay, I've set up here with the Nikon Z8 and the, well, it's awful dark. Set up here with the Nikon Z8 and the 180 to 600 on my big tripod with my fluid head on here, and I'm using the Feel World 5.5 inch F5 Pro X monitor right now. And there's a buck right out here. There was a doe that crossed the road. There's a buck right out here along the wood line, and I'm just standing here waiting to see if it shows up. I decided to put the monitor on here because I was having trouble seeing through my screen, which this gives me a lot better view right here of what's going on. This is the first time I've had this out actually in the woods, in the field, this Feel World monitor. So I'm really excited to have this and be able to try it out for real and use it. Okay, I was able to capture some really good footage of this buck trying to make its way up this towards me, and I'm going to show you that in the video right now. This is very exciting. Having this fluid head set up, this is a Leo Photo BV20 fluid head with the Feel World monitor, changes the whole dynamics of my photography. Okay, it's going to allow me to do more video of wildlife. There's that buck right out there in the middle of the field. It's going to allow me to do more video. Let's see where it's at. There it is. It's way out there. Okay, I've got my camera set at ISO. It's actually on auto ISO, and I'm at 1/60th of a second for my filming, and I'm going to go ahead and roll some video of this right now. I can see the histogram and everything on this screen. It's making its way back up this way. This is actually the second buck that I've seen. We were just discussing yesterday, Lena and I were, that we don't think the rut has really started yet here in the Cove. This is November the 20th, 2025. And it's not been cold enough. Now this morning it's about 43, which is a little cooler, but it's not really been cold enough, I don't think, to get them started. But Thanksgiving's coming up, and there's supposed to be some weather coming. I'm going to change my focus mode on this to eye detect. Yeah, it is set up for eye detect. I'm on wide area small animal eye detect. But the deer is so far out there, and there's a lot of fog between me and the deer. This is fantastic, okay? Really good stuff. I'm showing you now picture in a picture of what I'm filming, what I'm actually filming. Just standing out there. Now I could punch in the DX mode on the camera, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it in full frame mode. Just kind of wandering back and forth out there. Pretty nice looking buck. He's heading into the wood line. So I was able to take some photographs of the first buck, and I'm going to go ahead and show those to you in the video right now. They were pretty good. Okay, you want to watch these. So the first encounter we've had in the woods was 3 does, and I just took some photographs of them and a little bit of video. I'm going to show you that right now. This is the commentary. Anyways, they were just nosing around in the woods, and all of a sudden one of them was alerted to our presence, but I was behind a great big tree photographing, and Lynn just stopped dead still in her tracks, much like she's doing now right over there. And they looked at us for a few minutes, but then they went on their business. What we're actually looking for is bucks, and usually the presence of does will alert you to possibly a buck in the area. We are approaching the rut, the Tennessee rut, so.
And they would go in under it, the little ones.
I think you told me about that,
Yeah,
Cody did.
And I found out like exactly where it was, like kind of after the fact, but I saw the pups out there, or a pup out there.
Well, good morning, everybody. We're out here walking around looking for wildlife, any kind of wildlife. And today I'm using my Nikon Z50 Mark II, and I decided to carry the 100 to 400 lens. Now with this crop sensor body, it gives you an effective reach of, what is that, 200 to 600 at f6.3 at the 600 end. It's a very lightweight rig. I'm using my cotton carrier system today. I've got my rain pouch. I don't know if you can see it, kind of hooked on the back of it. It's rained last night. It might rain a little bit today. Here's some blue jays. There they are right there. See them? Straight ahead.
I see them, so.
Yeah, they're all over. Some blue jays this morning. Anyways, we've been out scouting around looking for deer all over the place. Hearing all kinds of birds. Really warm for November. It's supposed to be about 70 degrees today. It did rain last night, but it's not raining now. So we're on a 4-mile walk, about 4 miles, to see if we can find some big game. That would be bear, deer, turkey, pigs. They got pigs too, okay? So come along with us. So we were just walking and seeing a mother and 3 cubs up in the woods, and it's really hard to get a good shot because there's so much brush between us and them. So we just kind of had to find a hole through the tree branches occasionally to try to get some photographs. One thing I've learned is if I can't get a good photograph, I can try to get a good video. If I did get one, I'm gonna show it right now to you. Just coming out here and having an encounter like that, being able to see wildlife in their natural habitat, it just brings a great big happiness over you. It doesn't matter if you come away with a good picture or not, at least you got to see them in their natural environment. And that's what we're doing today, just kind of looking around. So we're just standing here being really still, really quiet, and the bear is up in the woods right over in there, and she's got 3 cubs, so we're just being real quiet so we don't spook the cubs. But she keeps going deeper into the woods, so I'm not sure if we're going to get any photographs of her or not. I will tell you one thing, this Z50 Mark II and this 100 to 400 is a great combination for what I'm doing today. I thought about bringing the 180 to 600 instead, but it's heavier. And this lens here gives me about the full frame equivalent reach. And I don't need much more than that today for what we're looking for. 100 to 400 is fine. So it's a very lightweight rig. Now, while I'm standing here, there's a bunch of bird activity right through this area. So I don't know what kind of birds they are. I'll have to pull up Merlin, let Merlin tell us. So spending time out here with those animals, you kind of start thinking about how intelligent they are. There's a lot of things they got to be thinking about to take care of their young. Probably more intelligent than we are when it comes to that. I come out here in the woods, park my truck, come walking out here in the woods to see if I could find any sign of deer. And I did find some sign right here. So when you're walking around the woods, you need to look for things like this. Let me show you this scrape right here. It's pretty good scrape right here. Looks pretty fresh right under this pine tree. So I'm just back here looking around, seeing what I can find. So far I've seen quite a few deer this morning, gotten some photographs of them. I'll show you those pictures right now in the video as we're looking for this big buck that's out here marking his territory. We think it's a little early for the rut. We're seeing bucks around does, trying to chase the does. The does are not receptive, and we've seen quite a few buck fights. Haven't been able to photograph or video any of it. Just heard about it actually. But we're gonna keep walking around the woods. I brought the Nikon Z50 Mark II with the 100 to 400 lens on my cotton carrier pouch. Got my radio so I could talk to somebody, and then binoculars. This excuse me, having this pouch, having this cotton carrier makes it a lot easier to get around. I'm trying to carry a camera on a strap. If you get a chance to get one of these, I suggest you do if you do this kind of photography. I walked around the woods quite a bit through the briars. I seen one more scrape right back here on this this area they've mulched out or mowed already. So there's 2 scrapes I've seen back here, one here and one back over there in the woods. So there definitely has been a buck in this area marking its territory. I got a couple more days. I may have to come back here and investigate this later and bring you back with me. So far I didn't see anything today here. I did see some stuff earlier, but nothing here. So I tried the 6-stop ND filter with the circular polarizer, but the shutter speed was going to be too long. It was going to be 3 seconds. So now I'm going to try the 3-stop ND filter. I'm using the Cades Wolverine magnetic filters, the original version, not the new Revolution version. So I'm going to end up with a 1 second shutter speed at f8 ISO 100 for this composition. I'm using the 24 to 120 Z-mount S-line lens on the Nikon Z8. I've got a focal length of around 35 millimeters. So I'm going to show you the first shot now in the video. 9754. I still want to get my shutter speed down lower than 1 second because the water's too blurry. I like to show a little detail in the water today. So I'm going to change my f-stop from f8 and go down to f5.6 and see what that gives me. Now by doing the f5.6, I was able to get down to a half a second. The only problem with that is I'm probably going to have to focus stack this. So I'm going to use the 2-finger method and put in front of my lens. That's the start of my focus stack. There's a great big rock in front of me. I'm going to focus on that first for this composition. And then I'll focus about a third of the way up. And then all the way to the back side of the creek. Then we'll hold 3 fingers up to mark the end of my focus stack. So that was a half a second. f5.6 ISO 100 with the ND 3-stop, the ND8 3-stop Cades Wolverine filter and a circular polarizer dialed in. Let's take a look at that image right now in the video. So I'm here in the Tremont section of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and today is November 22nd, 2025. As you can see from the previous photograph, most of the leaf color is gone. So it's going to be a challenge today to get a composition that's got some kind of color in it. Now there is some rhododendrons here, they're green. There is a few of the beech trees, and their leaves really don't drop. They usually turn like a brown, which gives you a little bit of color. Anyways, we're going to go on down the road and see what else we can find. Come on, let's go. One of the things I like to do is use minimal photography gear, and I've been forcing myself into using just one camera body, one lens for my outings. So today I decided that I was going to use the Nikon Z8 because I like to use the Z8 for landscape type photography. I had a choice. I could have chosen the 14 to 30, but today I chose the 24 to 120 f4 lens, and I'm going to stick with that lens for the entire day in this entire video. Now I was watching the weather forecast for this morning, for today, and it was supposed to be cloudy with rain and thunderstorms. I am not seeing that today. There is sun dancing in and out of the clouds, which is going to make it a little bit more challenging for photography here today, the waterfall type photography that I do, but we're going to try to work with that. This is an interesting location, except the sun decided to come out. When you have low water flow, there are other possibilities and different compositions you can find. And that's what we have today, is a low flow. It's been really dry lately here, very little rain. Here's another composition right up here that has my interest. Right there. Now there's a lot of white in the bottom of it, but how that water comes across that rock, that kind of interests me. We're going to move on. So I've driven over this bridge many times, and today I thought I'd stop here and come below the bridge and see if there's a composition down here. The sun is out right now, so I think what I'm going to do is go back up and get my camera and tripod and try to find something to photograph down here. Now in my landscape photography, I'm always looking for unique compositions. And in order to do that, sometimes you've got to get off the beaten path. So I thought possibly I could use this bridge structure in a composition, but I may do that in a minute. But for now, I'm going to concentrate on this water up here upstream from the bridge. So what I need to do now is find a good place to get a good composition here. Now I'm gonna move around until I do. All right, I found a really nice vertical composition here, and I'm at F8 at 1 second. I believe I want to get back to a half a second shutter speed, so I'm going to have to adjust my aperture down, and the sun has gone behind the clouds now, which is perfect, okay? A lot of color here on the right-hand side of the frame. We're going to focus stack this shot. I'm at f5.6 at a half a second. Put my marker there. As long as the sun will cooperate. (97.71), 97.70. 97.69, 97.68, 97.67. Okay, let me show you that image in the video right now. Now I found another composition, and I'm turning the camera down. I'm still doing a vertical composition here. But right here below me is a bunch of leaves caught up in the water between some rocks, and it's kind of interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and focus stack this one, because it's also at 1/2 a second f5.6. So I'm gonna put my fingers up front, and we're gonna focus right here at the bottom of my feet. And about a third of the way up, or about a half of the way up. Now, after looking at that composition, I realized I could really use the 14 to 30. So I think what I'm going to do, I said I wasn't going to, I was going to use one lens. But for this composition right here, I think it looked really good with the 14 to 30. So I'm going to go back up to the truck and get the lens. But before I do that, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and set it on the ground, because I've had accidents up here before. So I'm just going to set it right down there for now, and I'll be right back. I didn't bring my backpack down with me. Don't let me forget that lens. I've left my tripod set up in the same position. I did not change the position of it. Okay. But I am going to move the ball head over a little bit to the right. And I am going to level it. But it's pretty much at the same downward angle. Now I need to dial in the polarizer. And let's see what kind of exposure I can get here. So the sun is out right now, and I'm gonna wait till it goes behind a cloud to get my correct exposure. I see a little bit of the bridge abutment there, so I'm going to adjust to the left just a hair. And we're going to wait for the sun. Okay, after several minutes, the sun is pretty much gone behind a cloud. And I'm going to focus stack this shot 1/2 a second at f5.6 ISO 100 using the 14 to 30 millimeter f4 lens at 16 millimeters. Well, here comes the sun again. I'm going to have to wait again. All right, I dropped the camera down to get a little bit more of this foreground interest, and with the 14 to 30 lens set at 20 millimeters, hopefully I get some exaggeration right here. And let's take a look at that photograph right now in the video. 97, 91, and it was focus stacked. Well, I just switched back to the 24 to 120 after using the 14 to 30 down there. We're going to go on up the road a little bit further and see what else we can find. I'm a little late for the fall color extravaganza up here. But, you know, really, places like this provide beauty year-round. Even in the wintertime when it snows, it's beautiful up here. So, you know, when you're out doing landscape photography, you just kind of take it all and see what you can do with the images. What a beautiful morning out here in Cades Cove. What a beautiful morning out here in Cades Cove. And this morning we have some low-lying fog. And I decided I'd stop and do a panoramic shot here of a place that I've actually done panoramics before, but each time it's a little different. If you notice, the fog is kind of hanging low over the tree line here and just kind of silhouetting the trees. So what I've done is I put on the 50mm 1.8S lens on the Nikon Z8, and I'm using my Leo Photo tripod with my Acrotech ball head reversed for easier leveling, to get your camera perfectly level to do a pano. And using the 50mm I find is a perfect focal length to do panoramas with, especially on a full frame camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of look at things, look at my exposure, and my white balance is probably off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is get out my phone and check the white balance reading here. So I have this app on my phone called, what's it called? Light Meter, okay? And let me show it to you real quick so you can see what the icon looks like. It's that icon right there in the middle. I try to put a link, you know, a thing in the video so you can see. It's saying that my white balance is somewhere around 5,500, 5,400. So we're going to go with 5,500. And right now I have my white balance set for cloudy on the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial in manual white balance using my Kelvin setting. And we're going to dial it in at 5,500. I'm going to turn off my vibration reduction, okay, because I really don't need it. And I'm going to focus right in the center of the frame. I'm just going to focus one time, and now I'm going to do my pano. And I'll tell you how many shots I'm going to do, okay? My exposure setting is 1/500th of a second. I'm going to make it f8. And it's saying my ISO is 1100. So I'm going to drop my shutter speed down to get my ISO. I'm on auto ISO. So I'm going to shoot at 1/60th of a second, f8, and my ISO is about 320. And I want to dial my ISO in manually. And we don't want that changing. I'm going to dial in 320. And that gives me a perfect exposure. So here we go. We're going to start the pano head at 15 degrees, and I'm going to increment it every 15 degrees. Probably a little more detail than you want to know. I don't think my white balance is exactly right. Okay. And I don't think my ball head's exactly level, although it says it is. I think my white balance is a little bit too blue, so I'm going to go back in and change that. There's another buck right there coming across the scene. Oh my goodness, we just got to get a picture of this. Dumbass. Oh my God. So that was a memorable moment. I was shooting this pano right here, and a big old buck come running across the frame, and I had to go back to the truck and grab the Z50 Mark II with the 100 to 400 and use it, because I already had the 50 millimeter on the Z8 trying to shoot this pano. So it's pretty exciting. That buck came right through the frame of my pano, and I think I got it in the pano. So, you know, we'll find out when I get it processed. And if I did get anything, I'll show it to you in the video. Pretty exciting morning so far. This trip that I've made over here to Cades Cove has been really wonderful. It's been a very relaxing 6 days, and I hate to go back home, but one thing good about it, this place is only about 2 hours from my house, so it's real easy to get to. It doesn't take very long. It's about 100 miles. Let me show you the view. I'm standing out here in the middle of a field photographing song sparrows, of all things. Let me show you a few of those pictures right now. And now let me show you the view from where I'm standing. Isn't that wonderful? It's a beautiful sunny day. It's about 50 degrees. Almost perfect weather for walking around in the woods. And that's what I'm doing. I'm spending most of my time today walking, parking and walking. And so far this morning I've seen a couple deer in the fog. One of them seemed to be limping. Let me show you a really crude video of that deer right now. It was a small buck. And then I drove on down here and I found this area that they had mowed a path. So I decided to get out and just walk. And so far I'm hearing a lot of birds, but if I hold still, the song sparrows will let me take their picture. Kind of ironic, isn't it? Drive all the way over here to get pictures of song sparrows. But the important thing is I'm having fun with my photography, and that's what's really important. Now today, and for the most of this trip, I've been using the Nikon Z50. Now for today and for most of this trip, I'm using the Nikon Z50 Mark II with the 100-400 lens, and I am really liking this lightweight rig. As you can see, I've got it on the front of my cotton carrier system, and it makes it really lightweight and really nice to walk around in the woods with. And this could be a game changer for me, this Z50 Mark II and the 100-400. I just got the 100-400 about a week ago before I came over here, so I'm really putting it through its paces right now. Making me some lunch. Let me show you my camp setup real quick, okay? So you can see how I live when I'm out here camping. This is my trailer behind me, and I've got my blue tent, my $49 Walmart tent, set up back here, and you can see I'm cooking my hamburgers on the table there. And it's a pretty nice day out, so I put the awning out. Let me show you over here. I've got a Predator 2000 generator that I hook up to the trailer to charge the batteries, and I let it run about 2 hours a day. And then I'm going to show you inside real quick. So on the counter up here, I have my Oops Mega 1 battery pack, and it's charging right now off the generator. And I'm able to use that to power my refrigerator for about 24 hours. The Keurig single cup will run off the Oops Mega 1. This is a 1024 watt hour, 2000 watt peak. It'll also run the microwave in the trailer if I want to. So it's pretty convenient to have that. It's not very heavy, it doesn't take up a lot of room. It's got 4 AC plugs in the front. It's got USB power delivery up there. So pretty handy to have. There's my sleeping quarters right back there. It's a small trailer. I did take a bath last night. Let me show you real quick. I have what they call a dry bath that does have a tub in it, and I was able to make some hot water. I don't turn the hot water heater on the trailer. I never have used it. I may have to do that one day. What I do is just make some hot water on the stove, mix it in a wash pan, and just go in there and stand in the tub and take a bath. That's how I do it. Better get out here and tend to my hamburgers. I try to save wherever I can in time and effort. So instead of bringing whole potatoes, I just bring in some great value sliced potatoes, and I'm gonna get a little butter out of the refrigerator, and I'm gonna make those as soon as the hamburgers are done. I had the fire a little bit too hot. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and put the butter in the pan. These hamburgers are about finished. I'm gonna cook them potatoes. They actually only need to be heated up right next to the burgers, like that. Now these potatoes are already cooked, so all you gotta do is really just heat them up. I got the burgers finished. Just kind of trying to brown the potatoes a little bit. Put a little Swiss cheese on my burgers. No bread, just hamburger patties. This is a pretty simple meal for me. Bon appetit. Just right. Let me tell you how I prepare for my meals before I come camping. What I normally do is I'll buy a pound of hamburger at the grocery store, and I get the market side hamburger from Walmart, 80/20. And when I bring it home from the store, I'll cut it in half in the package, and then I'll put that in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. I also get a pound of bacon, and I'll cut that in 3 sections, do the same thing, put it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. Then the morning I get ready to leave, I put all that in my cooler. So over about a 4 or 5 day period, camping trip, staying in that cooler keeps it frozen for at least another day in there, and then it starts to thaw out. And then I just take out the package I want to use and cook it. So that's what this is, a half a pound of ground beef today. I had a half a pound the other day of an evening, and that's how I do it. Sometimes I'll cook some chicken breast in the air fryer at home and have it pre-done. I did that on this trip, and have it in the cooler so I could have a meal out of it. It saves me from having to cook a whole lot when I'm out here camping and doing photography, because really I don't want to be doing a lot of cooking. I want to be doing a lot of photography. I come out here in the field to see if I could find some deer this evening, and I haven't found any deer yet, but what I did find was a coyote out here in the middle of the field hunting, and I was able to get some video and some photographs of it. It's still out there hunting. God, so many people making so much noise. Jeez. Anyways, I'm watching him, or it. It's very unusual to see a coyote in the middle of the day. I don't know if you could see it out there or not. Let me zoom in a little bit with this camera. It's right in there, right there. Well, I'll show you some photographs right now. Pretty cool. I'm using the Z50 Mark II and the 100 to 400. I'm gonna have to crop in quite a bit because he's pretty far distance off. Okay, I just spent some time photographing and filming the coyote. Now I'm going to be ready this evening for some deer. Now yesterday evening I was clear across that field over there in the sunlight, and I think the deer might have seen me. They got up really close to me, and I'll show you a little video of that right now. But tonight I've come to the other side, and I'm paying attention. The wind is in my face, so hopefully I'm hunkered down here. Let me show you my situation. There's a tree, there's a clump of trees right here, and I'm going to get right down there against that tree, and I've got my camouflage on, and I'll have a clear view of this field out in front of me. So hopefully I might see a buck tonight. That coyote has taken off and gone all the way back to the back now to leave, but hopefully I'll catch some deer pictures tonight. It's about 2 hours till sunset, so I'm gonna hunker down here and just sit here and be quiet for the next 2 hours. Okay, this is my posture for tonight. As you can see, I've got my camo kind of like to cover up my face. I don't have any gloves that are camo. I took my glasses off just in case they see a reflection or something. So this is what I'm working with tonight. And this is my view from the tree. Well, this is my last day here in Cades Cove for this week. And I got up early this morning. It got pretty cold last night. It got down to 36 in Cades Cove. So I'm all decked out and going for a walk in the woods. Still looking for that majestic buck photograph. I've gotten some good photographs, but I'm still looking for that one majestic buck. And haven't found him yet. But we're going to go looking for him right now. Well, I just got done walking through the woods from where I parked my truck in an area that they call the gum swamp. And there's a sign down there that tells you why this area is fenced off to keep the wild hogs out of the native plant area. And apparently wild hogs have been a problem in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park since the 1950s. And they constructed this area in a wetland down here to protect the native plants. Anyways, I've seen a lot of bird activity. I've seen some bear scat and some deer scrapes, but I didn't see any wildlife in there. So that's just part of it. You know, when you're out here walking around the woods, you just never know what you're going to find out here. And, you know, you kind of have to think like a regular hunter when you're out here, even though I'm a photographer. We're going to walk on back this way and see what else we can get into. This is my last afternoon before I have to go home opportunity to get some photographs. Last 2 days have been kind of slow in the animal department, so I'm coming out here to an area that I've been to before. It's about 3 hours. It's about 3 hours before sunset, and I'm going to come out here and find me a place to sit down in the woods and just see by chance if something comes by me. It's really a nice afternoon out. The clouds are kind of obscuring some of the light, which takes away some of the harshness. Okay, I'm about a mile from the truck, and I found me a spot to sit down in the woods where just about 2 days ago we seen a mama bear and 3 cubs. And I don't know what I'm going to see this evening, but I'm going to stick it out. I took my jacket off, I'll show you right here, and draped it over my camera and my tripod to camouflage me as much as possible. And I'm sitting behind, I'm sitting up against a clump of trees right here. So I'm going to get down low and hopefully something will come by my way tonight. I got 2 hours. We'll see. So this is the next morning. Yesterday evening, I spent about 2 hours sitting out in the woods where I had seen some activity the day before. Nothing. One thing I've noticed the last couple days being here, the amount of sightings of deer and bear have been diminished during the daytime. Wildlife photography is not like landscape photography. If you're going to do wildlife photography, you have got to have a lot of patience. You have to study your environment. You have to kind of know your subject matter. Landscape photography, you just grab your camera and go out and photograph. You don't need to do any behavior, for better lack of a better word, behavior science studying or anything like that. So I was going to get up early this morning. It was supposed to rain and head home, but when I woke up, the rain had not really arrived yet, so I decided to delay my departure for today and see if I could find anything. I did find a small buck over here coming in, but the light was really low, and if those turned out in the I'll show it to you in a video. and roll some video of this right now. I can see the histogram and everything on this screen. It's making its way back up this way. This is actually the second buck that I've seen. We were just discussing yesterday, Lena and I were, that we don't think the rut has really started yet here in the cove. This is November the 20th, 2025. And it's not been cold enough. Now this morning it's about 43, which is a little cooler, but it's not really been cold enough, I don't think, to get them started. But Thanksgiving's coming up and there's supposed to be some weather coming. I'm going to change my focus mode on this to eye detect. Yeah, it is set up for eye detect. I'm on wide area small animal eye detect, but the deer are so far out there and there's a lot of fog between me and the deer. This is fantastic, okay? Really good stuff. I'm showing you now picture in a picture of what I'm filming, what I'm actually filming. Just standing out there. Now I could punch in the DX mode on the camera, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it in full frame mode. Just kind of wandering back and forth out there. Pretty nice looking buck. He's heading into the wood line. Is he coming up?
Yeah, he is. He's just standing there at the moment. He's right there.
If we stand real still, we may be able to get him.
Okay.
You get set up for him. I'm just gonna. Now we're talking. He sees us. He sees us now. Yeah. Seems like the consolation. You can't get pictures, do video.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone. and roll some video of this right now. I can see the histogram and everything on this screen. It's making its way back up this way. This is actually the second buck that I've seen. We were just discussing yesterday, Lena and I were, that we don't think the rut has really started yet here in the cove. This is November the 20th, 2025. And it's not been cold enough. Now this morning it's about 43, which is a little cooler, but it's not really been cold enough, I don't think, to get them started. But Thanksgiving's coming up and there's supposed to be some weather coming. I'm going to change my focus mode on this to eye detect. Yeah, it is set up for eye detect. I'm on wide area small animal eye detect, but the deer is so far out there and there's a lot of fog between me and the deer. This is fantastic, okay? Really good stuff. I'm showing you now picture in a picture of what I'm filming, what I'm actually filming. Just standing out there. Now I could punch in the DX mode on the camera, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it in full frame mode. Just kind of wandering back and forth out there. Pretty nice looking buck. He's heading into the wood line. God.